Gav.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so time's going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Blaster Master Zero, it's a reboot of the original game. The first part of this run is going to look very familiar in terms of level layout and design. Since this was a donation incentive character choice, Shantae won, so we're playing with Shantae. Inside of the tank, all the characters control pretty identically. Outside of the tank, they are drastically different, though, so a lot of different routes between the characters, a lot of different boss strats.
Yeah, otherwise, the only real difference with Shantae and the tank is the tank's purple. That's what you get.
Yeah, so this actually, this was DLC that was released right around SGDQ, and Dragoon and Scavenger and I had a blind 100% race of it. It was a lot of fun. Got to discover all of this fun speed tech on the fly.
So any of you guys that are familiar with Shantae might already notice the familiar transformations from her series. A lot of the DLC characters play very true to their original characters from their respective game series.
Yeah, so you'll see him using this a lot just because it's faster and also you're invincible while you're doing it. And it does damage too, although I'm pretty sure there's other moves that are more damaging on some things.
Well, it's also nice because it breaks the rocks and breaks some breakables that you would need a grenade or whatever normally.
So here's the first boss, Mother Brain. Very similar to the other Mother Brain that we see every once in a while, but
Typical Blaster Master fashion, we're already glitching and wrong warping into Metroid. It's okay. Pay no attention.
It's not the last time we'll see Mother Brain, though.
it's a good one cycle there. Using the thunderclouds to do constant damage to him, whipping him with the hair.
And we get our first upgrade in the run, the Hyper Shot. This beefs up our tank's cannon by 100% in terms of damage. It also gives us the ability to kill a wall monster coming up, which is blocking our access to Area 2.
It also powers up her hair so that we can break rocks as well.
Oh. I thought her hair was just naturally that gnarly.
You're gonna see that that hair whip on the next area, on Area 2. It definitely helps them skip a lot of that level by breaking the blocks with the hair.
For other characters, we can skip this next upgrade, but for Shantae and some of the other characters, it just doesn't save enough time for it to be useful. And it's really annoying if you do not get that upgrade.
Yeah, it's actually faster to just go and get the upgrade. There's two characters that can skip the Area 2 boss, and with Ikoro, it's faster to just go get the upgrade than it is to skip it. You have to spend a lot of time breaking ice blocks in Area 6, and she doesn't really have a good way of breaking blocks directly above her, so it's just really, really slow. But this path I'm taking right now, this is intended to be like a shortcut through Area 2 later on in the game when you're backtracking through here to get to Area 4. Because we can break open the breakable blocks early, it lets us kind of just skip straight through to the final area of Area 2 here.
Yeah, you definitely skip a big chunk of this level. This level goes on for a while when you have to go up and around.
Yeah, you probably skip like 3/4 of the stage.
It also really limits if we wanted to, for some reason, to get another upgrade. This route is just too fast to even consider getting like a laser to kill enemies quicker or something like that.
Yeah, that's one unfortunate thing about the any percent categories for this game is that none of the optional power-ups are worth picking up, even though a lot of them are a lot of fun.
If you were like just starting out learning the game, you could grab the gun power up on your way back from Area 3 so that you don't lose your gun as you get hurt over spikes and crap.
Oh, the gun guard, yeah. Gun
Yeah.
guard's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most useful power-ups in this game, but like I said, unfortunately, it's still slower.
So in this dungeon, we're going to see yet more elephant dashing.
The way the lava works in these rooms is it all goes based on how fast you're going through a room. If you did that other room just a little bit slower, the lava right there would already be down far enough that you wouldn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Since we go so fast, we take damage there.
Yeah, the lava operates on a global timer from when you enter the dungeon. Which makes it really fun if you mess up one room because it throws off the entire rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, the cycle on it's pretty long too, so if you end up having to wait for an extra cycle, it costs you a ton of time. Oh.
Took one too many hits.
Yep.
So, since this game is really fun with dungeons, if you die, the only checkpoint is the save right before the boss, so we get to do the entire thing again, and we'll avoid taking that one extra hit.
Yep.
We
I knew I would die at some point.
On a positive note, more elephant.
This is true.
charge an elephants.
Who doesn't love charging elephants?
Otherwise, though, Shantae uses a magic-based attack system. Her little storm clouds take up, I think it's like 20 MPs, whatever. I can't really read that number at this moment, but it's enough that you can't spam it too much compared to like her fireball. But the storm is basically her strongest move that you can use.
Play it safe and grab extra health because why not?
Basically, the storm cloud is what you're going to use on almost every single boss until you get another power-up that we will definitely see later.
Hey, we made it.
Yeah,
Alright.
with a lot of health.
So here we are, the next boss, the Fabulous Crabulous.
Unlike Blaster Master at last year's AGDQ, Crabulous is definitely spawning this time.
No getting out of this one.
I've never seen any of these bosses not spawn, so that would have been exceedingly interesting if that happened.
I mean, I am the one playing right now.
Good kill, though.
The slime on the ground was slightly unfortunate, but worked out perfectly fine.
Optimally, you want to try to kill this boss with Shantae as close to the top of the room as you can so you don't have to walk to get the crusher shot. But if the boss decides to throw some unfortunate slime piles out, you really don't have a good way of quickly moving while attacking the boss. And that is unfortunately what happened there.
But it doesn't lose that much time. But obviously, every second counts.
I mean, it didn't lose as much time as that death.
Hey, I had never done that boss correctly until today.
I've never done that boss correctly, so you're already doing better than me.
So now we get to do everything that we just did before and travel back the same route to area 3. Now breaking those 2 blocks.
Area 3 is our little mecha area. It's all of our little machines and conveyor belts and all that junk.
Yeah, so those of you familiar with the original game, the themes of the areas all basically match the ones from the original, but the further in you get, the more and more the layouts diverge.
So like this one still has the little gumball machines that attack you. They added a lot of bees though.
Let's see if Scav uses this recent tech he's come up with. Yep.
Yeah, I missed it.
Oh, no, we got it. And yes, takes out that sprinkler up top there with a missile shot while doing the door
Yeah,
transition.
you can see the drop from where it was up there, the little blue orb, but there's a turret that sits up there that, as Jam just said, I took off with that off-screen missile shot.
So as long as you do your missile shot and have the missiles like basically on the edge as you go into the transition, they'll still keep going to the next screen. There's a little bit of like if it if there's an enemy too close to the edge of the screen on the other side, sometimes it'll just go right through for some reason, but otherwise you can get some nice hits in.
Yeah, so one of the other big differences about this game compared to the original is that your special weapons have that recharging meter. You don't have to go find special ammo for them, but you also don't start with all of them. You only start with a triple missile, and the other ones unfortunately aren't worth picking up at 90%.
Yeah, they did the recharging energy on this game a lot better than they did in, well, obviously they didn't make Overdrive, but it uses a similar concept, except that even your gun used up your energy, and the only way you could recharge it was by staying still. So this is a very, very nice comparatively.
I still maintain that Overdrive is a completely terrible speed game.
It is, but it's my terrible speed game.
That's the
Well-
only thing that's important, Dragoon.
Yeah,
as long
well-
as you love it, buddy. Because it is hot garbage.
Now, I almost want to say that 2 is mine, but Scavenger already said that 2 doesn't exist, so...
There's a Blaster Master too? I'm just finding out about this, guys. It's blowing my mind.
Alright, so then we get into our Metal Gear fight.
Have no fear, because Central Gear is here.
Alright then.
This is the first really big RNG hurdle in the run. This boss has a number of patterns. Only a few of them can actually be one-cycled. Let's see what he gives us.
The right positioning, this is one-cyclable.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
That one's the roughest of all of the one-cycles to
Then he's
get.
going into a really bad pattern here.
It's not the worst thing that could have ever happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take a 2-cycle. It works.
Definitely cleaned him up nicely. Good job.
So you might have noticed I was not hitting any save points throughout Area 3. That was intentional so I can hit the in-menu save here and then do a soft reset. As long as I didn't hit any other save points, this should dump me right back at the entrance to Area 3, saving me a couple minutes of backtracking.
Well, there's two things. If you hit a save point or if you go into any dungeon. So that's why we don't do it on basically everywhere else. Because
Yeah.
once you hit into a dungeon, it makes you reset back to there if you save.
Yeah, auto saves.
One unfortunate thing is that because this is an any percent run, we're skipping a lot of the various upgrades and abilities, and a lot of them are really interesting in terms of movement tech. 100% has a lot of really neat movement and routing because of the extra abilities and items you get. And unfortunately, won't get to show any of those off. It's just going to be pretty standard basic weaponry. And right now would be a good time for donations if there's any.
Of course, I got you. We have a $150 donation from Atomic Tiki, who says, "Gotta give it up to AGDQ 2018. Master that blaster and kick that cancer."
7 out of 10.
We have $10 from Brookie Dion. My first of hopefully many donations. Go get 'em, Scav. See you guys in a few days.
Oh, thanks, Brookie.
Hey, Brookie.
Rookie approved.
We have $20 from Already Sweaty 666.
Okay.
Who says, "Had to donate during Scav's run. May the marathon gods be with you. Love from Pittsburgh Retro Gaming. Goes to Runner's Choice."
Nice. That's going to be Dark Terex's Wizards and Warriors run. And that is a very, very fitting name. Thanks, Sweaty, by the way. It's a regular viewer in my stream, and it's a very fitting donation right now because I am quite sweaty with these GDQ nerves.
You're doing great.
So the same basic routing is from the original Blaster Master, where you would go to Area 4 by hovering up the left side of the very beginning starting screen. But now hover's a lot more nice because we get to recharge. We get to use it a lot more often.
Yeah, unfortunately it shares energy with your special weapons, but it still ends up being used a lot
Yeah.
more.
Like one of the speed items that we were talking about earlier was a dash. That it's basically almost like the elephant dash, but you're doing it in the tank. And then you have to make a choice whether you want to do a lot of dashes or you want to save that energy to do like a hover that would save a time another place. So you gotta watch out for your energy usage in these areas. But with this, the only energy uses you got is hover and missiles.
And it might have looked like I went out of my way to hit a save point earlier in this area. That's just setting up another one of those save warps for after the boss. I need to go to that room after I kill the boss anyways, so just kind of makes sense to do that by save warping back instead of backtracking all through Area 4. Because leaving Area 4 is quite nasty. There's a lot of really rough platforming and hovering and a lot of just randomly flying enemies that make it really nasty.
Bees are pretty annoying in this game. If you come at them at the wrong angle, they'll knock you out of the sky 100%.
Or snipe you.
Or just, yeah, across the room. Those stingers go pretty dang far.
Yeah, they do. Anybody who watched the Harvey Relief Done Quick Marathon caught a really good bee snipe at the end of my run in that. So coming up in a moment here, we're going to be hitting the boss of this stage. His name's Riverol in the game. I like to call him Frog the Fred. But in the original Blaster Master, you fought him in the dungeon mode. This game, they turned him into a side view tank boss. Hopefully this fight doesn't take too long. Sometimes it can take a few minutes.
Witness the true power of the tank.
So we're going to grab this key, which will let us access Area 5, and then we're just going to save warp and go right back to the beginning of Area 4.
This is another spot where a special character can save some time over the normal Jason run. Switching into this monkey. This monkey moves really fast, and also extra characters don't take fall damage. And they can summon the tank wherever they want. So Scap just summoned the tank and made his way across. Normally you have to open that up with that key you just picked up and drive the tank through. I was able to skip that. It's nice.
So whenever you hit the retry feature in the menu in this, it refills your health and sub-weapon energy and dumps you back to the closest checkpoint you were at, whether it was the beginning of an area or a save point or the beginning of a dungeon. And I did that here to refill my hover so I could fly over to Squid Baron here and get the Brainy Dance upgrade. It's slightly faster to do that than to swim over and then have to go back and get your tank, because you absolutely need your tank anyways here, because you have to take your tank down to the bottom of this area.
Yes, I believe that's the only technically optional power-up you pick up in this category.
It is optional, but at the same time, it's exceedingly useful in just the first dungeon that you get it in. But you definitely, yes, you do not need to get this whatsoever.
Yeah, it would just be slower to not get it.
And it's easy to not know it's there.
Yeah, so as if this game needed any more categories, technically there is a low percent.
Not that anyone's tried to run it
No.
or made a category for it.
Do not message me asking to create that category, because I will not. Play any percent, you savages.
Wow. There you go, a little backward swimming. It's always a little faster.
I have it on really good authority from some Ocarina of Time speedrunners that swimming backwards is faster than swimming forwards. And I trust them, so I'm just going to go with it. These Metroids are being kind of jerky right now, a little bit.
Those are obviously just jellyfish. There is no possible connection with Metroids right there. Not that the fact that there's Metroid-style fly spawners in other parts of the game as well.
And the ability to turn into Mother Brain.
Technicalities.
Spoilers.
Sure.
He hasn't actually done that yet.
Oh,
One nice thing about Shantae and actually Shovel Knight is that if you were playing the other characters, they take like 2 damage from any overworld hits. But Shantae and Shovel Knight, I guess mainly because they're melee characters, they only take 1. So it makes overworld a lot safer if you have to be just the character, not your tank.
And this is why it was worth picking this up.
And it makes Shantae a real half-damage hero.
Yes. Great thing about this this transformation, she could just fly right over any body of water just like that. Don't have to wait for the platforms.
If you didn't pick up this power-up, you could still save a little bit of time with the elephant. It can charge over water a little. So if you time it right, you can save small amounts of time here and there, but obviously the Mother Brain going over everything is much nicer.
In good shape, you're full up on magic.
Just to be super safe, we're going to go ahead and hit retry here and refill our health, if I can actually pull up the right menu. I shouldn't need that extra health, but you never know. I've already died once this run. No need to make it twice. Now we have Hard Shell, or as I lovingly call him, Zoidberg.
So one nice thing about the little thunderclouds is that if you
Where's he going?
smack it with your hair,
I
that
don't
you can go
know.
farther, but that's annoying. Up there.
I can't say I've ever seen him run this way in this fight. This is really weird.
All right. Well,
Would you say that's never happened before?
I mean, that's totally happened to me all the time. I totally knew how to handle that.
Why you gotta spoil my fun?
Sorry.
but if that boss starts charging around, it can be very hard to catch up with it. So it's nice that it kind of stood there just for a little so that we could.
Catch back up to it.
Yeah, he also likes to charge at you, and when he does that, you better be out of the way, because you can't really dodge it if he's already doing it.
And it'll hit you multiple times. It's
It's nasty.
yeah. Having too much fun with that.
It's faster, man, I swear.
So we said that we can summon the tank basically anywhere, but sadly in the water, it prevents you from summoning it most of these places. So we could skip technically a couple things, but just the way that the tank summoning works, we can't fully skip this swimming upgrade and stuff like that. But to be fair, the swimming upgrade makes the end area very nice, so it's kind of a trade-off between, do you really want to do the final area without the tanks swimming?
The answer is no,
Yeah,
you do
definitely
not.
not. Yeah.
But in Gunvolt and Akoro, we do skip the water upgrade, which makes, especially Akoro, very dangerous when you get to that final area.
Yeah, Okoro's a nightmare all through Area 8. It's not as bad now that we can summon the tank.
She's my favorite character.
To play?
Nah, well, if anything, I'd rather just do Jason.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. I think this is my favorite song in this game, by the way.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this soundtrack. They did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a Game Boy Advance soundtrack, but not quite. I mean, this whole game really just kind of reminds me of a Game Boy Advance title.
Overall, I feel like there's no really bad songs in this game. None of them really get as much to me as like the original, but at the same time, there's not one that I can say I hate the song. They're all pretty good.
Yeah, even Area 8 actually has a decent song this time around.
That room was pretty mediocre, but we made it through it at least.
Yeah. So this is basically why we get the upgrade to break blocks,
Ugh.
ice, and all this is just exceedingly annoying without the upgrade from Area 3.
So we're gonna do another one of those retries here to refill my sub-weapon energy. You pretty much absolutely need a full hover bar, or full hover meter to get through this upcoming room here because of all the verticality to the room, plus needing to break ice blocks.
If we were Koro right now, you would be, if you didn't get the upgrade because you're a crazy person, you would be jumping into the top of each of these blocks and hoping that your little arrow breaks it, and then you would repeat that over and over again, and it's just painful.
Yeah, it's not fun. How did I run out of hover when I still had a bar on my meter? That was something special. This game lies. Either that or it just doesn't know how to count. Alright, so coming up here, I'm going to skip a pretty large chunk of this room by damage boosting up through some spikes. I'm also going to hope to catch this platform. I messed it up. I was hoping to catch that platform before it went back up towards the top. That's okay, though.
And this entire area here is very cycle based. If you do things quickly, hopefully you'll get the cycle you want and be able to catch it on the up climbs. Otherwise, you just gotta sit there and wait.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job at avoiding it, but there are ice physics in here. It's very easy to slip off of things.
I'm not going to get this one either, I don't think.
Barely, yeah.
Oh no!
Denied!
So yeah, that can happen too.
I'm okay with it. I'm impressed by the defensive tenacity of that orb.
So like right here, there's another cycle that you can make, but it's kind of rough.
Got it.
That's terribly difficult. I think you nailed that 0 out of 10 times in practice. So.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Try to get an enemy despawn here. Did not get it.
Yeah, you can technically despawn that little spawner right there at the bottom, but it's not really an issue. You can dodge them pretty easily. It's just nice that they're not there. With the ice physics, jumping as soon as you hit the ice gives you actual acceleration. And this upcoming fight is basically annoying for any character that is not Jason. There's just no good way for almost any character to deal with this. Some take it a little bit better than others, but it's slow for all of them.
Hitting the save point just to be safe in case this fight goes south, which it very easily can.
So we get to see the one and only time of the doggy. You get a purple doggy just to take shots.
It's a gumdrop.
It's a doggy.
It's a gumdrop.
He's a good gumdrop.
Okay, how about he's a doggy named Gumdrop?
Sure,
Will
why
you
not?
take that? All right.
So, but the one nice thing about the gumdrop dogs little attack is that it pierces. So it can go through each of the little eyeballs as they open up. It's basically the only chance you have in order to hit multiple enemies.
Yeah, but it's entirely RNG which ones decide to open, so it'll take forever.
And then if you're not in a good place to hit those little laser sights, those eyes will stay closed until it feels like firing. So if you can't activate it, it'll just stay closed and be completely invulnerable until the countdown goes off.
If the game wanted to give me a health drop right now, I would not be opposed.
For some reason, I don't know why, this fight just never drops health.
The game knows.
Oh, there's a health right there, but it's so out of
I'm
the
gonna get
way.
hit to pick it up. Yeah, I'm gonna get hit to pick it up. Should have just not even went for it. Oh well.
There
All
it
right,
goes.
good.
Yeah, by far the most annoying fight in the game.
And that's still not the slowest character to kill that boss.
Actually, I think with the new Gunvolt strat I came up with, she might be the slowest character for that boss.
Oh, that's awesome then.
Yeah.
It used to be that the like Gunvolt ice boss was basically like, it felt like half of the run. Obviously it was not, but it's just it's so painful to get through. Especially in 100% where you had to fight them more than once. That was fun.
So we just seen it in action before, but they just picked up the wall climb, and that lets them climb on ceilings and walls. We're going to use that to get to the next area.
Yeah, so one big departure from the original now is that normally, well, the original you would go back to Area 2 to get to Area 7, but now he's actually going to go back to Area 3 to get to Area 7. And
Right.
The wall climber, normally you have to upgrade it twice before it lets you go. Well, in the old, lets you go on ceilings, but in this one, you don't have to. There's only one upgrade for both.
And you toggle it on and off, which makes it so much better.
Yeah, you hold the button to trigger it instead of it just triggering all the time, which does make it a lot more controllable.
You don't accidentally fall into pits as often. You can still do it, but it's a lot easier to avoid falling into those fiery pits filled with hell worms, and they just eat you alive. Like those guys right there.
So now we've got a lot of backtracking coming up, so if there's any more donations you want to read out, go for it.
I'm on it. We have a $100 donation from Scott Michaud. He says, let's start the marathon strong by breaking 125K on day 1. Hopefully we'll set the stage for the later days. We have a $5 donation from Vetri85, who says, my mama beat cancer just like Scav's going to beat Blaster Master Remaster. Hi, Panda and Scav.
Thanks, Scott.
We also have a $10 donation from Super Juge. My friends introduced me to this last year. Now that I have a job, I'm able to support something I love watching. Can't wait to see how Blaster Master is. We also have a $100 donation from Puffle My Jiggles. That's a great name. Who says, hey all, Puffle here, and I want to give a very special thanks to all that have donated and to the organizers. Shout out to my man, Scavenger216.
Thanks, Buffalo. And thanks to everybody donating towards this donation incentive and just donating to this marathon in general. It's definitely very much appreciated by a lot of people, myself included. Over the course of the past year, I've had 2 of my best friends and my stepdad both battling cancer, so it's definitely pretty moving to see so many people contributing to the cause.
We still got a little bit of backtracking if you're going to do a couple more.
Okie dokie. We've got $20 from G-Dub Plays. What's up, G-Dub? He says, best of luck to Scav and to all the runners this week. We also have a $20 donation from Vanilla Bear 35. Shout out to the first NES game I ever gave up on as a kid out of pure frustration, Blaster Master. And to the first game I ever bought and best on my Nintendo Switch. Good luck on the run, Scav.
Thanks, everybody.
We have a $10 donation from Daskuro. Keep up the great runs. I loved Blaster Master growing up and could never beat it. This new one is a great game too, and I might be able to finish it now. Shout outs to my niece watching. Greetings from Mexico. We have a $5 donation from Keanu Lookalike. Says, had to donate from my bro Scav. Good luck in the run.
Thanks, Kiana.
So we're about to go back into Area 3, which is the new way we get to Area 7 compared to the old one, as we as Uranium was talking about earlier.
Get one more try at the glitch missile strat too. That's always fun.
Hopefully it'll drop us a little bit of health. Well, it doesn't really matter because we usually...
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit retry when I get to Area 7 anyways. Play it safe.
Oh yeah.
Got him.
Nailed it.
Can't get on the belt though.
Those belts are surprisingly difficult to grab onto sometimes.
The wall upgrade lets us climb this wall and trigger this vertical conveyor belt, which lowers these gates and allows us passage to Area 7. I'm going to go ahead and hit retry here to refill my health because I don't feel safe going through with 3 bars. And this looks very similar to Area 7 from the original Blaster Master, but there's definitely some changes. They added a lot of stealth elements to this iteration of it. Anything you see with kind of like a spotlight coming off of it, if I get seen by that spotlight, everything in the room will just try to assault me.
So it's like stealth optional.
Yeah, for a lot of these spotlights, I'm going to be intentionally triggering them and trying to take out the enemies that tries to trap me with right away with a volley of the 3-way missiles.
Sadly, we don't have the dash attack. So like right here, we can take out those with the 3 missiles, but then we have to slowly kill each of those. But the dash is nice that you can kill each one instantly.
Here we are in a Minecraft room. Gonna make our way down, looking for diamonds.
One of them got away, that's fine though. Uh-oh, that's not good. Still worked. Usually if you take any damage from that turret, it throws off the cycle on the spotlight and you can't do that quick kill that I just did to get rid of all the caterpillars.
So we used to try to take this room a couple different ways, like trying to be smart about our movement, not triggering the light bulbs, whatever. But then we realized all you have to do is hold right, and then you basically have the best pattern you can possibly get.
Yeah, it just took Dragoon getting frustrated with the game one day and going, let's see what happens if I just hold right the whole time. And yeah, it worked really well.
This is also possibly one of my least, well, in the any percent run, this is my least favorite dungeon in the entire game.
No arguments
Ooh,
there.
sick.
That was so close.
Good job.
Yeah, if
Getting
we-
spotted early in this dungeon is an instant death sentence. I'm good now. That's kind of where I actually wanted to be spotted at, but any earlier than that and I would probably be dead.
Yeah, those guys take a ton of shots to kill, and every single one of them starts chasing you if even one of them sees you, so it's really dangerous.
In the 100%, there's a exceedingly large room that has that mechanic, and that one is just painful if you get spotted in. But if you do it 100% Shantae, it's one of the easiest dungeons in the game because she can fly across lava.
So anybody familiar with the original game might remember the awesome looking boss that was on the cover of the NES cartridge. I'm fighting him right now. They kind of turned him into a side view boss in this and kind of changed his art style a little bit. I'm a fan of the design choice there. Wow, the skeleton boss being trolly though.
That was
Yeah,
close,
almost
yeah.
killed you,
Good
geez.
job, though.
So we're probably gonna get another retry in the next screen,
Oh yeah.
which is actually really nice in the first place to have all the hover you can to get in.
Again, it would help if I actually pulled up the right menus.
Menuing is hard.
Oh yeah.
So this is the final and, in my opinion, the hardest area in the game.
Oh yeah, this is pretty punishing. If you try to go through this fast, you better know what you're doing or else you're gonna die a lot. Even with the saves, it's pretty rough.
Good spike skip.
These Metroids are pretty random. They can be extremely trolly, case in point.
And they have a decent amount of health too, so you can't just one-shot them with your bullets like normal.
Jump too high there. This game has 3 distinct jump heights. There's a, I don't want to really call it like a 1-frame jump, but if you do a quick tap of the jump, you get like a really short jump, and I kind of failed doing that earlier in the room, which snowballed into the entire room falling apart. We're low on health, but that's fine. I just have to make it to the next checkpoint.
Which is coming up pretty soon. As in right there.
So we're going to go ahead and hit retry again, refill our health, because I'm bad at video games.
A completely legitimate strategy, especially if you're playing this casual.
Going to the left here at this fork in the road is technically faster, but kind of risky. I was having good success with it in practice. I just don't want to risk it here.
Basically, any death in this area is,
Extremely costly.
yeah, it backtracking, having to go back through the water. It's just not a good idea. And going this way allows you to hit this save, which gives you a little bit extra safety as well. Otherwise, we would miss it. And if we took a death in these next two screens, which is very easy, it would be much worse. Because they put the bees at possibly the most annoying intervals they possibly could.
Yeah, the bees in the original game were basically just kind of there, but here they're snipers.
More elephant dashing, because everybody loves elephant dashing. I hear how excited you guys are. That's more like it.
And this room is actually exceedingly annoying too, as you can see how badly it can just.
Doesn't help that I completely just messed everything up.
So normally the blue ones the blue little wall guys only go one direction. The red ones go both directions, so they can chase you if you move unoptimally.
Really fun strat with this boss, throwing out a few thunderclouds and then switching directly to Mother Brain. Moving back and staying in the middle there actually lines up an antibody cell right in the center, so you can just spam that attack and take him out quickly. It's a really good kill.
Unfortunately, the direction Mother Brain fires in is not really random. Like, if you're holding straight up, it doesn't always shoot straight up. It kind of has a spread to it, like a 30-degree spread to it. So not every one of your brain pods, for lack of a better term, are going to actually hit the boss, but that's by far the fastest way of dealing with that boss is Shantae.
The only slightly annoying thing about the animal upgrades is that, just like in the real game, you can't use any of your other magics while you're in it. So you can't use your thunderclouds at the same time as the Mother Brain attack. We don't really need any extra magic for this fight, so we don't even need to worry about recharging that.
I just have to not get hit at all, because any damage on this first phase will make the second phase very unlikely to survive.
This first phase, there is some RNG in the way he moves around and when he attacks, but overall it's nothing horrible. That's actually kind of bad RNG, really. Attack a lot.
Ooh, tried to get you there.
Close.
Good job though. Good adaptation.
So this next part, there's 4 different colors that he can choose, and you'll quickly see which ones are good and bad.
If this boss loves me, he'll turn blue right away.
Blue, 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 blue.
Time's going to be as soon as this boss dies. That is not what I wanted to see.
It's probably the second worst ability he can use, and that's the worst.
Thank you, game.
But if you go in the top left there, it seems like he can't really hurt you with that move. If you go in the bottom corners, he still can get you. So it's slightly okay. That's what we wanted to
And
see.
time.
Good job. All right.
4408. With that death, that's not bad. Underestimate, so I'm okay with it.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks everybody who watched this run, who's been watching the marathon and donating and supporting our great cause. Thanks to everybody behind me here for commentary and hanging out, and all you guys watching back there, thank you. Yeah, that's going to be it. If you enjoyed the game, it's available for Switch and 3DS. Indie Creates did a great job with it. It's really cheap. It's only a $10 game, and from now until January 14th, they're running a promotion where it's 30% off. So you can get this game for $7, and it's well worth it. Tons of replay value.
If you
Check
wanted,
it out.
If you wanted to play Shantae and any of them, those are also technically DLC, but it's like $1. It's like $1,
Yeah.
$2 maybe. I don't know. It's cheap.
It's the best $20 you'll ever spend.
By far. Yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks, everybody.